Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a match between Maru and Neeb here on Year Zero, the latter edition from their Round of 8 series from the 2019 WESG Playoff. Okay, so officially in Liquipedia it is the 2018 Playoff, but that's just because the qualifying matches took place in 2018 and the playoff takes place in 2019. I don't know. WESG is a very interesting and kind of weird tournament, but everybody shows up to it, so that's okay by me. All right, so top left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player Maru, who's been playing so well recently, just really on top of his game. Really happy to have him around. And in the top right-hand corner, the blue Protoss player Neeb. Now, Neeb did very well at WESG as well. Obviously qualified because it's country-based, and only the best players from each country are allowed to come in. So Neeb was like, I have to beat who again? Puck? Jon Snow? Future? I think I got that handled. And he did. He had it handled. No big deal. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Maru had a much more difficult group to get through to get here. If you remember, I did organize and cast many of those qualifying rounds and qualifying stages from each country for WESG. And man, the Korean one was just, it was stacked, right? When players like Classic are ranked way down there in the standings of a country's, like, these are the best players involved, you know it's serious business, and it was. Anyway, Reaper here for Maru, Reaper opening versus the Protoss. We don't usually see this, or sometimes we don't, just because there's usually a Stalker or an Adept out by the time the Reaper shows up, and it's really annoying, but this Reaper's name is Dee Dee, Dexter's annoying dancing sister. Dee Dee decided to break into someone else's laboratory. She somehow managed to dance her way into a secret Terran facility dedicated to resurrecting a space god, specifically Amon's younger brother, Beamon. Dee Dee pulled random levers and jumped around. Where are you going, Dee Dee? And jumped around with various wires, killing Beamon before the resurrection could be completed. For saving the galaxy, Dee Dee was sent to the Reaper program. You know, I never watched much Dexter's Laboratory. I watched some Johnny Test. Wait, Johnny Quest? I think Johnny Quest, which was okay. I never watched much Dexter, though. I wasn't a kid who had Nickelodeon growing up. Was very much an over-the-air stations, ABC, NBC, and Fox for my cartoons. And as a result, not much into those. The Nickelodeon era of cartoon is really kind of foreign to me, but I know enough about Dexter's Laboratory to understand the basics. Anyway, SCV scouting Adept shoos him away. Reaper comes in, and yeah, Adept patrolling here. This is the only way you get in, man. That's blocked off. We blocked off that hopping spot very easily with the Cybernetics core, so there's no getting in here for Mr. Reaper. Actually, I guess you can hop in, but then you're stuck. So it's a bit of a trap, is what it is. You don't want to go in at all, because your range actually is not that great. So here's the Adept. Bam! Another shot adding to the damage done by the Sentry. Inside the main base, one more shot, and he's going to get out of there. Or she, rather, Dee Dee, is going to escape. So far, so good. Dee Dee did have the good fortune of being a Reaper in the hands of Maru. There are worse places you could be, man. You could be in an Into the Void match for sure. Anyway, not much craziness happening here in the early stages of the game. It looks like we are going for a 1-1-1 build with the command center built in for Maru. He's got the factory. He's got the starport. He's getting a tech lab. Tech lab on the factory, which indicates maybe he wants a tech lab on the starport here. Could be some Banshee openings, which can be pretty great. Although, one shield battery in your mineral line will shut down Banshee Harass pretty much forever. You cannot do damage enough to kill probes through the repair and through the heal that comes from that shield battery. 2 Banshees, different story. 1 really gets shut down pretty easily. But no, man, it's going to be Cyclone. Going to use the tech lab himself, this factory is. There's a tech lab on the starport, though, so that could be definitely for some Banshee follow-ups, which would be a lot of fun. Again, I love the Banshee unit. I like it a lot, but yeah, man, really excited. WSG released their replays. Very excited to cast a bunch of these. You guys, game number 1 of Maru versus Scarlet. I'm not going to tell you when they played. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it was an hour and 20-minute long game. It was insanity. Roddy and Wardy cast it, and they were doing their best. There was a lot of airtime to fill, some boring spots for sure, but they did their best, and I was very impressed with them. I might end up casting it for my channel and bringing in, like, Somicron and, I don't know, maybe Fatty, just to hang out with me for the whole thing. I think it'd be fun. But let me know in the comments if you want me to cast that game. It'd be very interesting, I think. Additionally, I have a merch store, you guys. I had somebody come into the Discord server the other day. By the way, link to the Discord in the description. And I was like, hey, Falcon, you should sell merch. Dude, I have a store. I've had a store for so long. There is a link in the description. I put a card in the top right here, too. But it's just search Falcon Paladin Shopify, and you'll see my store. We've got shirts, long sleeve shirts, jackets, hats, mugs. It's a pretty good store. Any requests you have for us, let us know. Anyway, it's going to be Falcon Paladin Shopify. Check it out. Just Google that. You'll be fine. We got a tank out. We got Marines out. That tank and another tank is here too. Not in siege mode. Strangely enough, I'm not sure why that guy isn't sieging up. He's going to try to position himself in a position where he wants to be sieged, and there it is. He is worried about the stalkers coming over. Look at that positioning by Maru. Oh my gosh, he knows. He knows the blink stalkers are probably going to try to come over here. Do they have? Of course they have blink. Of course they have blink. So the Marines come to the high ground to defend. We have a Cyclone sitting there too. The tank's going to get splash damage though if you wander over in that direction. And Neeb's getting held off pretty well here by Maru in the early stages of this game. And in a situation, in a matchup where people feel like Protoss is overpowered, maybe not overpowered, but favored a little bit versus Terran, I think Neeb is kind of showing a little bit of aggression. He's able to get a third base up behind this. Maru has to sit back and defend and defend and defend, and he does have a Liberator set up over here with 0 kills. That is a weird place to set up. I guess maybe tried to come in here and got shot at a bit, and then it's just trying to stay alive long enough to maybe come back in a little bit later. I don't know. Either way, man, the stalkers keep coming in and getting shots off. Ooh, they do pick off an SCV building a supply depot, which is pretty good stuff. But man, Neeb sitting on 3 bases and 58 workers while Maru is only on 2. He's got his 3rd command center, but he doesn't really feel safe enough to move it out quite yet. Cyclone. Ooh, Cyclone does take... What was that that died? Observer? Oh, did they focus down the Observer? Dang. That's good. Now the stalkers are going to have a hard time with that for sure, without the vision on the high ground. Maru scans the 3rd base and says, that's not good for me. I do have the bigger army, 44 to 38, but moving out might be a little bit hard. There are Colossus on the way from Neeb. He's working on extended thermal lance. It's a very marine-heavy composition. However, with 5 tanks, and he is bringing some SCVs along to repair. Or is this just a transfer? This is just a transfer. Never mind. We're going to land the 3rd base here, no problem, and let the transfer commence. These stalkers are like, oh man, that tank count is way too high for me. I don't like 5 tanks on the ground versus us. We just take that bonus splash damage. It's a bad thing for sure. Maybe. No, blinking into there would be death. There's Marines ready to rock. Yeah, nope. Neeb's being thrust backwards, but he did have his 3rd base up way before Maru did. He's working on some higher tech too. That Colossus with Zealots. Ooh, with Charge too. Charge is just about complete for Neeb. And yeah, holding the Zelnaga Watchtower is that Adept. So I think Neeb's in a pretty comfortable position, but you really should not feel comfortable versus Maru in any capacity at all. If you're ever facing off against Maru at all in any situation, if you're playing ping pong against him, table tennis, do not feel comfortable. Maru is an ultimate competitor, and he will mess you up real bad. I mean, it reminds me of the stories of Michael Jordan, right? The famous basketball player, maybe the most famous one of all time. He was crazy competitive. That's how he won so much, but he was also crazy competitive in everything he ever did. If he played cards against you, he was insanely competitive. If he did a foot race against you in the parking lot, insanely competitive. There was no reason for him to ever let up, and that's why he won as much as he did, but he was also kind of insane that way. I don't think he was ever really happy. Unless he won. Like, that's the only way he could be happy, which maybe... seems problematic. Either way, bit of an engagement here. We got Charge Left on top of the bio. Got Stalkers focusing in here too. And now, Maru is the one who is fleeing here as he didn't bring his tanks with him. And there's a Colossus coming up on the rear, trying to avoid getting hit by that Colossus beam, and he does a good job with that, picking up and retreating. Maru retreating there. Neeb pushing him back. 4th base, done for Neeb, by the way. 4th base is done for Neeb right now. That's absolutely insane. Did that Liberator die? That Liberator is not dead. I don't know where she is, though. She went all the way back home, so she is a little bit disgraced. She didn't get any kills over on the Protoss side of the map. She kind of kept the attention of some units, but really not what she was built to do. Regardless, man, ground armor level 1 is done. The more armor that's on these Zealots, the better it is for them. Maru needs to keep up on upgrades, man. He needs to keep up on upgrades. He's got 2-2 on the way, which is going to help him immensely. But ground weapons level 2 already done for Neeb. They've looked at increasing the research time on these upgrades, because it really does make a huge difference. If there's a 3-3 Protoss army when the Terran is at 2-2, that's a massive advantage that the Protoss has. The Terran can't overcome, because even if their timings are perfect, Chrono Boost means that the upgrades for the Protoss are faster. So I really feel like that's probably a fair thing to do, but how it affects other matchups is what they really have to consider. But man, Neeb's going for a 5th. He's just like, you know what, I'm going to macro my face off, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, whatever. Maru's only on 3 bases right now. He is building his 4th, but it's not anywhere close to being complete. And yeah, I don't know, man. Neeb is in a great position. His splash damage, are these Colossus? What's the Viking count looking like now? There are 0 Vikings. All right, I'm concerned a little bit for Maru. He knows there's Colossus, right? I mean, you can deal with it with tanks and with Marauders if you have enough. Army supply 114 to 99. Neeb has a lead. I almost feel like I'd rather see Storm. Templar Archives is almost done, so that would make a lot of sense that we're going for Storm here. In the end, I mean, really, Protoss has no reason not to go for Storm against Bio. So why not? Right. Alright, Stalker, Zealot, Sentry, Colossus, Anti-Armor Missile comes down, catches all of those Zealots. That helps a lot. That helps a lot. Their buffering ability is not as good, and Neeb says, let's go for it, ladies and gentlemen. Colossus firing, Zealots getting wiped out. That Anti-Armor Missile helped immensely there for Maru. That is a much different fight if the Zealots have their full armor rather than having it knocked down by 3. Yeah, Dorito Missile's good, you guys. Get Ravens. Get Ravens just for Dorito. I'm not sure. Was there an attempted drop-in back here? Any SCVs die? Some SCVs have been killed. There might have been a drop by Neeb at the same time, which is honestly kind of genius. But man, you can't even... I'm going to say you can't see it, but I think that Cyclone killed it. No! Warp Prism's still here. Where? Oh, it's down here. Man, that is so hard to see on this map. It's a big map. And it's blue. Anyway, engagement up here to the north. Getting that Raven would be huge. But no. Keeping it alive here. Nicely done. Kiting back. And the Liberators are present. Yeah, takes down a Liberator. Loses a couple Stalkers in the process. That's probably a fair trade. Keeping that Liberator count low is really nice. Mario lands his 4th base. Again, Neeb's been on 5 for a while now. At 81 workers. Working on Storm. Working on +3 armor for his guys. But so far, Maru's been keeping it alive. And again, once the upgrades are even, the advantage kind of melts away for Protoss. So Maru's like, you know how we can handle the fact that Neeb at 3-3 and me at 2-2 is a problem? I just get 3-3 as soon as terribly possible. And we call it good. Of course, by that I mean he's not getting 3-3 yet. So Maru, you're making me feel dumb. Oh, snap. Okay, so he's expanded here too. So he is now on 5 bases as well. So 5 base in it versus a 5 base in it here. There are 4 more bases available to take. We can get up to 6 bases each if we split the map evenly, which we might end up doing in this game. But all right, Liberator count high. So going to Liberators instead of Vikings, which I kind of like. I kind of like it. The Liberators are decent anti-air. They're really good against ground, too. See how many shots that was to kill a Zealot? That was insane. All right, man. The Liberators, though. Those Liberators, nice storm dodge from Maru, too. Neeb wants to go ahead and knock down these rocks because he wants quick access over here. Meanwhile, we do have a massive warping of Zealots up here inside the main. This is so hard to deal with. Oh my gosh, if they can deny +3 while this engagement is going on, storming the Colossus, getting rid of the Colossus while the army goes back to try to deal with this, they do deny. Weapons level 3. Can they get armor level 3 too here? It looks like they're very well going to be able to. What a huge pickup. Out of Neeb, bam, denied. Armor level 3. Maru has to start those over again. He's going to go in and take down a base in revenge, though. Neeb's going to lose his 5th. Pretty darn quickly. Bio with Stim's pretty scary stuff. Meanwhile, Neeb continuing to attack up. Good storms, but storming his own SCVs a little bit there too. Wait, his own Zealots rather a little bit there too. They're all mixed up in my mind because they're in the same place, but losing those SCVs. Bunch of probes have died too. Maru's attacking on into Neeb's 3rd base while his own 3rd base is getting rocked here too. Recalling some of its units home to deal with this, and it does manage to chase him away while some of his guys are still around. Still around. Does he know about this base? He does know about that base. Does he want to go try to kill it is the question. I'm not sure. Oh, the Zealots could have killed those Marines, but they stopped. They stopped their charge. There we go. Charge is back. And the Marines are forced to flee, but their friends are there, and that's going to be all she wrote. So Neeb is retreating. I really feel like denying that +3 armor and +3 attack was massive for Neeb. I liked it a lot. Game-changing stuff right there. We'll see if he can pull this off. Getting Tempest to deal with the Liberators. Oh, there are some Vikings out now. Maru's been making Vikings a little bit more now than just Liberator. After losing a bunch of them there. How many did he lose? Liberator death count? 12. He's lost 12 Liberators, you guys. But resources lost overall fairly even. 13,000 for Maru, 13,000 for Neeb. Some hundreds in there mixing it up, but not a huge deal. Yeah, man, the Circles of Doom. The Circles of Doom have been around ever since Liberators have existed, and especially are very good against Protoss. But Tempest can be an answer here. We've seen it done time and time again. They're extra range versus other air targets. They do bonus damage versus massive, but Liberators are not massive, but still, just hitting them at all is pretty good. If that's what you're into. Zealots are thinking about heading over here to wipe out this base. I don't know if you can do it by yourselves, guys. Is this enough? The Zealots are 3-3-1. Are they really going to try to go for this? This is interesting. I mean, I think maybe they could have got it, but then there's the repair, and then there's the whole... Oh, and this bait. Look at this storm on these guys. Dang. That was interesting. Pulled the whole army down, stormed them, and then attacked up towards Maru's 5th base, where there are some tanks defending. Tanks are amazing against these Colossus and Archons and Stalkers. Really, really good here. Neeb is just trying to poke around the periphery. Maru has kept enough defense to keep his stuff alive, even if it's being pulled different directions. All right, so Neeb's replaced his 5th. Maru has replaced his 3rd. There's no real long-lasting harm done here. Maru's getting nukes, though. And, wow, I feel like nuke is kind of the current meta for Terran in games that go at all, any distance, including 16 minutes. All right, man. The Tempest are firing against these Liberators. They do pick one off there, but that is so many. Storm goes down, gets some damage done, but the Templar who cast it is absolutely dead because it had to stop for about 10 seconds to cast that. It felt like it was long enough to get shot up. But here's a small Zealot Storm army here. Getting caught out. I mean, great storms there. Chasing them away. The Zealots are not getting hit by the storms. All that much nicely done. Changing it into Archons, warping in another huge group of Zealots. I don't know if Maru wants to engage here. This is a lot of fully healthy Zealots, including with +2 shields. Engagement up north is being pretty slow here as well. Getting DT Blink. Neeb is working on a Blink for DTs. Shadow Stride is the official name. It can be really good at sniping bases. We'll see if Neeb uses it in that capacity. Although against bases that have detection and have planetary fortresses, it's going to be a problem. No detection down here at Maru's 4th, however, so maybe he needs to work on that. I don't know that he's expecting Dark Templar, but maybe you should always be expecting Dark Templar in a long-running PvT. Ghosts on the way. Obviously, there's your first nuke. Ghosts are already out, more in production here. I'm not sure what this nuke is even really intended for. Really zoning. I mean, any more, right? Any more nukes are just intended to be zoning things. Meanwhile, trying to attack in here again with Zealots, with High Templar. Planetary Fortress causes some problems for your units, guys. Anti-armor missile that do take down a tank regardless, though. And then everybody gets cleaned up. Maru defending here pretty admirably against some pretty consistent pressure. Again, this engagement is just a dance. It's a dance back and forth. The Tempest versus the Vikings and the Liberators. Army supply 116 to 116, 74 to 75 army. This is as close as you're going to see in a PvT, you guys. Insanely close. But here's our DT group. Remember how there's no detection down here? I remember how there's no detection down here. And bam, your planetary fortress is dead. You can scan all you want. It doesn't matter. A lot of SCVs getting wiped out. DTs with this level of upgrades are insanely good. Man, even though they're all dead, they took a lot of bio with them. Some of them did manage to escape, which is hugely important. The engagements up here still working out, I'd say, in favor of Maru. He's defending exceptionally well. He's losing Vikings, which is not good. But he's keeping Neeb away, and really that's all he has to do at this stage. Just keep them away, continue to pump Liberators, maybe make some good trades overall. That's what these games turn into. Is there trades? Can you kill stuff and lose less stuff than your opponent? Right? Oh, get in there. That's a small group. That's only a few Marauders, man. You can hack those guys up. Liberator setting up in defender mode. Actually defending the 4th base. Tempest firing in. The Vikings just one volleying everything, though. One volley Tempest. One volley Colossus. Oh, God, that was brutal. That Viking count got real high real fast for Neeb, I feel like. Oh, did the DTs... Oh, we got to go back. DTs are doing stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much what I expected. They came in, killed some Marauders, got wiped out by the Liberator, and the guys, 6 kills on that Liberator. That was fine. More High Templar coming out here. Neeb has managed to take his 6th, where Maru is still sitting on these 5 bases we've had for a while. No, is he on 5? It is 5. Counting is hard, especially when you're casting. Dang, and Neeb is going for a 7th, y'all. He is taking all the bases on his side of the map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is the one. This is the one that Maru hasn't taken. And this one. All right, cool. All right, cool, cool. Cool beans. Another attack in the middle here. We've got some zealots trying to go off against these ghosts, but man, bonus damage versus light on those ghosts comes into such handy in situations like this. Those zealots are light, man. That is the one unit that doesn't really struggle against zealots, is ghosts. Whoa, we snuck a nuke way over here? All right, that's cool. Do you have detection in this area? You certainly do not. How are you planning on taking this out? You're not. You're just going to pull. You pull the probes. I don't think anybody died there. EMP. Desperation EMP. Last second bit of EMP on these zealots, but they'll regenerate their shields fast enough, I think. Don't have to worry about it. Dude, that's full upgrades, man. That is 333 from Neeb right now. 3-3 is done for Maru. The delay was nice, but the effects are over now. Another huge Sky Terran army versus these Tempests. It's just not... It's not looking good for these Tempests, you guys. 6 of them have gone down so far. It's 30,000 resources lost for Neeb to 26 for Maru. So he's definitely had the upper hand in some of these recent engagements. And I think it's looking really good for your Terran hero if you are, in fact, rooting for him today. 6 more probes die. Where? What? 6 probes died, you guys. Maybe this Liberator did? No, this Liberator has... I don't know what it was. That was a ghost. Those were ghost probes that died mysteriously with no answer for them at all. Liberator sets up on the base that got nuked earlier. There's just no rest for the weary at this base of Neeb's at all. Coming in with Zealots to wipe this base out. I know there's a Liberator here, say the Zealots, but we're going to kill all these SCVs. And there's not much you can do about it. You can try to kill us, but all the SCVs will die first. Unless the ghosts come in and save the friggin' day, as they do. Focus the SCVs. Focus the SCVs. Oh, Liberator finally getting cleared out. More probes die. More SCVs die. It has been a worker massacre so far in this game. 57 SCVs have died and 31 probes have gone down. But Maru taking for the first time his 6th and 7th bases here. And he's going to be on equal economy to Neeb here very, very soon. Shield batteries up. Really, I feel like shield batteries are something you should be placing everywhere if you're Neeb. Fallback positions where there are batteries are really, really important. I like that there are cannons up. Cannon towers. What am I playing? Warcraft 2? Jeez. I will be playing, The Division 2 at twitch.tv/FalconPaladin recently, which is a lot of fun. Co-op shooter with Somicron. Good times had by all there. This nuke is going to get off. Dude, I cannot believe Neeb is letting these nukes land. He can't find this one. He doesn't know. 5 probes go down. Cannon goes down. Decent hit. Not life-changing or anything. Not game-altering. God, Liberator taking out some High Templar before she goes down. Storm whiffing entirely there. And this Ghost is feeling pretty confident, man. He's got 13 kills. Is he out of range of detection? Oh, there's an observer here, and it has speed. That is a speed observer. I love how fast they are. Sensor tower focused down here by Neeb. He's been attacking up here for what feels like 10 minutes. Because it probably has been about 10 minutes. And every time Maru comes over, it just turns into this back and forth, back and forth. The Tempests are trying to fire. The Tempests do have +3 air attack, which is nice. It's going to be really good for them to have that upgrade. Especially because Maru has more engagements happening here. Good storms. Maru sitting on +3 air weapons himself. So we're keeping tabs. We're keeping even with our opponents, trying to storm those ghosts before the EMPs really come out. And that's where the shield batteries come in. Blah, 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 blah. And long story short, we ran out of energy. So not everybody's back up to full strength, but that's okay. Maru's 7th base under attack by Zealots and DTs. Oh, crap. Don't let that missile turret finish. Don't you do it. The SCV's abandoned. They abandoned the whole darn thing because, by golly, that is a humongous attacking force here. Refinery's going down. Get out. Just get out of here. Don't die. I guess he's busy with this. But he lost all of his DTs to Ghosts and all of his Zealots, too. Storming the SCVs at this base, man. Maru has lost so many SCVs in this game. 71 have gone down. Guess what? Another nuke, though. Nuke attempt Number, I don't know, 6 or something. Is this the same ghost? No, that one died. New ghost, but new kills. Ah, it's so pretty. Such a pretty explosion. Maru's continuing to make nukes here. So basically, Neeb's version of Harassment is Zealot Dark Templar. And Maru's version of Harassment has been nukes thus far, which I am okay with. I'm okay with both of these things being real. Really entertained, but Maru, I don't know, actually sending some units across the map so far. That planetary fortress only has 1 kill. Trying to take down a Colossus, which is really hard to do for a PF. But Maru coming into Neeb 7th and going to take the sucker down. There's really no saving it. There's no army in position to save it at all, which seems like a problem for Neeb. Where the heck are your defensive units, man? Nobody hanging back to deal with this. Some Zealots in mineral lines. Ooh, that base is mined out. That's not good, but a Nexus down here. This one going to die too. Dude, Neeb, where are you? He's trying to recall in to save it, and he does. Maru knew that was going to happen. He forced the recall. This base is mined out. And these probes need to be working over here immediately, and they are. So Neeb has transferred the focus of his main army down here to the south. He's got disruptors, I guess, trying to get some lucky hits on ghosts, but that seems like a tall order if you're playing against Maru. He's played against disruptors forever, ever since they came out. He's entirely familiar with it. Meanwhile, Zealot's going after this PF, and I think they might end up getting it with that +3 attack and full armor and stuff, but no! Surprisingly enough, I don't think they're going... Oh, it's going to be close. Nice anti-armor missile down here to the south wall. That's going on. And just a little bit of repair. And the Zealots can't get it. That's hilarious. That is really good. Really good by Maru. He lets the Zealots exert all their energy and all their HP, trying to get it down to 200 hit points. And then Maru's like, I guess I could just repair. And he does. And he does. Resources lost. 45,000 for Neeb. 37,000 for Maru. He keeps pulling further and further ahead here. Nuking down here at the south. Free Tempests. Ooh, Oracle actually the target. And then getting the Tempest anyway for good measure. Did he cancel that nuke? He canceled that nuke. And threw up another one further ahead. The Vikings just don't die. The storms are good, but they dodge them pretty easily. Oh, that nuke cannot land. That nuke is not allowed to land on anything important for Neeb here. And it catches a couple probes, but not a huge deal. Neeb kind of abusing the high ground here a little bit. More EMPs getting tossed down. More Liberators there too. Defender mode. It is just absolute abject chaos in the southern section of the map right now. Reinforcements getting picked off by Colossus. Stalkers, Archons. Can they finish off this base? Not if Maru has anything to say about it. Oh, he left some guys at home to wipe out Neeb's 7th base again. So he does end up saving his planetary. And by that I mean it's close. Is he going to save the planetary? Oh man, the repair is too good. The repair is too good. He saves the planetary and wipes out a base of Neeb's. That's 100% a win. 100% unquestionably a win. And then continuing to push in to Neeb's 6th base down here. And getting shooed away from that one. So get out. I don't even... Did he lose the... He lost the assimilator here. Hasn't bothered replacing it. He only has a 300 gas bank. I'm not sure why he hasn't replaced those. I guess he's been busy with other stuff. Like, you know, trying to kill Maru and trying not to die. Seems about right. How many Vikings have died in this game, Falcon? Well, it's been a lot. It's been 32. 32 Vikings have died, and it feels like it should have been more. Archon's getting splash damage up there. Stalkers fighting too. This is a more traditional stuff. Stalkers versus Vikings versus Colossus versus Tempest. What a scrappy match this has been. Absolutely bonkers on both ends right now. It's just been continuing forever, trying to send disruptor shots out and get stuff done, but it's just not working for Neeb, as evidenced by that disruptor that dies. A really, really quick death. Just still engaging, man. This has just been the fight for the last forever. Trying to pick off some ghosts. They do kill some ghosts there. Novas don't really hit. Dark Templar. Uncloaked Dark Templar because they got caught by EMP. That is such a weird thing. You don't often see that. But when you do, it's interesting. It's just you never see them without that shimmer going on, you know? So every base on the map has been taken. Are we going to mine out every base on the map is the question. I don't know. Man, we could. There's not a lot here for Neeb on his final base. That one's dwindling. Mules, I think, will ensure these bases get mined out pretty quickly, although Maru's not really using them for mules. Seems like his energy is more going towards scans for the most part. Ah, Nova does catch a ghost there, but this base is going to die again. Oh, man, Neeb, you can't lose this base so many times. Not in a game this close. Shoo, Nexus down. Maru continuing to attack on in here. Neeb crushing from the right to the left. Is he just base racing? He's like, screw this. I can't win in a straight-up engagement versus Maru. He's too shifty. Let's just base race this thing. I say never base race a Terran, but I have some flying units, so I should be okay, right? All right, man. If you say so. But, man, the Liberator's coming home to deal with this. The Liberator Viking army coming home to deal with this. The Bio almost staying home, but not deciding to retreat. Maru is not interested in base racing. As it turns out, Neeb sent him a note in class and said, hey, meet me out back. We'll base race at the flagpole. And Maru said, nah, bro, no thanks. I'm not interested in that. And that's why Maru's coming home now. Is, yeah, I could lose this base because it's entirely mined out almost. Almost entirely mined out. I mean, Neeb trying to kill buildings as fast as he can, but guess who's coming up behind him? The entire Terran army is here. Storming his own stuff a little bit. I'm not sure if that was a panic storm or not, but he's forced to engage into these Vikings. I don't see this working out for him all that well at all. The Vikings are landing to fight now. There's nothing else for them to kill in the air. They're wiping out Stalkers very, very easily here. Disruptor in the middle, left alone. Zealots fighting down south against these Vikings. You know what? Neeb kind of winning the battle in the south a little bit here. Holy crap. Stalker down too, but that's your good game. Neeb kind of won that battle, but Maru won the war. Yeah, man, 49-17 army at the end there. There just wasn't anything left for Neeb. That final battle, Maru finally forced Neeb into a situation where Neeb could not retreat from it, and that was all she wrote. I think that was a misstep by Neeb. I really do. I wish it wasn't. I wish he hadn't done that, but it kind of went for the base race. Maru pinned him into a corner, and Neeb did what he could, but he just couldn't come out on top there. Lost too much stuff. Lost everything. At the end of the game there, he had 7 Zealots and a Dark Templar. His bank was 229. It just wasn't going to work out for him at all. Maru consistently wiping out a 7th base was a problem economically, but just the resources lost here. 68 to 62,000. 6,000 resources lost, more for Neeb over the course of the game. Really, since the halfway point is when Maru started making excellent trades. And yeah, that was all she wrote. So nice job by Maru, kind of showing how you deal with Protoss and their splash damage. Just dodge the crap out of it. Dodge the storms. Get a lot of Vikings for Tempest. Get the Liberators up precisely and perfectly. Deploy those defender modes all the time. And you too can beat Protosses like Neeb. Whew. All right, man. 18 Tempests went down in exchange for what? 52 Vikings? That seems like a pretty good trade for Maru. I think economically that makes sense. 44 Liberators died. 92 Marines. 56 Marauders. 90 SCVs. That's a lot of SCVs to lose. But if you kill 82 probes, it's probably going to be okay in the end. It was a 47 to 16 worker difference for Maru at the end of the game there. How many Zealots died? I want to see that one. 184 Zealots. That's a lot of Zealots, man. A lot of them made. They did wipe out some bases, which was nice, just not enough and not as frequently as Maru was able to take out the big-time base that Neeb needed towards the end of the game there. 8 Colossus died. 5 Nexuses went down. 5 Nexuses. I mean, I guess 2 Planetaries and 2 Orbital Commands went down, but I think 2 of those were over here at the 3rd that Maru was already done with. So I don't think that counts if you're looking for that sort of thing. Whew. But anyway, good one. Good match for sure. Really, really enjoyed casting it. And that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. And you take care of yourself.